can't handle the uber instincts of my uber autism. Observe.
I woke up in a new
Waro Jinshin O Daisukyo Nandayo or whatever. Biden blast!
I think the intro does this plane justice quite well. Why? Because this plane is an absolute shit brick. Welcome back, and today we are going to be taking a look at the new event vehicle, the A-7K at 11.0. And no, that is not a typo or a misspelling. This thing is actually at 11.0. And this thing in Araby, if you want to have a rundown of it, I will direct you to the 10th frame of the video, and it should paint a pretty clear picture. In Ground RB, I mean, it has Mavericks, it has GBUs. It has some stuff, it has a 30mm gun port, but at 11.0 there are just much better picks. And in RB, if you want to ground pound, I'm rocking 1 30mm on the left side of my plane. It hits quite hard, it's pretty good for grounded striking. But the issue is you're so damn slow, and with the maps being slightly bigger as they already were, you're gonna reach the battle a little bit too late, and most of the time you're not even gonna ground pound at all. If you get to ground pound, you can easily rack up like 20 ground units. But hey, does it really happen that often? No, not really. For the Mavericks, you're only looking at B models. I saw some guys say that they were D models. No such thing. You're gonna be stuck with these. And if it's slight dusk, if it's not that clear of a picture, the missiles, they don't really know where they are, and they very often will just lock nothing, or they will lock the ground. Not sure how the other models would behave in that kind of manner, but really you're just looking at an A7D with AIM-9Ls. And is that particularly great? Well, no, not really. Looking at the matchmaker, over half my games were at 12.0. And let me tell you, MiG-29s, MiG-21s, basically if it says MiG, you are done. The MiG-23s are somewhat fightable if they don't have a brain. The MiG-29 as well as the MiG-21, however, they just lose so much speed. They are impossible to reverse in this unless they're actually going like 500 km an hour quicker than you are. It is not a great experience. People will focus you. People see this thing, they think it's a free kill, and they are right. It's just absolutely awful. And you really just have no real way to defend yourself. You do have 2 AIM-9Ls, as I said. And yes, they are some of the best IL missiles, well, the smaller ones that you will find in the game. The issue is, they're still IR missiles and they are still perfectly flammable because they are not anywhere as good as they once were, which I think is a good thing. The issue is if you're flying something like this that really has no way to defend itself, you're gonna have a little bit of an issue. And yes, you just saw me down 5 people in the span of 62 seconds, if you don't count this guy burning up forever. But it really is just guns. This thing has a gun. It has a second gun to the left of its gun, and it has 2 missiles, and you're kind of forced to just head on people. If your aim is good, you'll get pretty far, but that's only because people just have absolutely no clue what the hell they are doing. If you get into the unfortunate event where your enemy has 2 working brain cells that are actually rubbing together, you might as well just J out. There really is no way to fight them. Your plane just doesn't have the performance, and I know. It is a ground attack aircraft, it's not an air superiority fighter. But you should also know that we fly everything like an air superiority fighter here. Because something being good at ground RB, something being good at ground pounding in air RB, it doesn't really warrant a review. Because it's all about weapon systems, and the weapon systems are essentially on every plane these days. So is there a real reason to review ground pounders when it's all about the armament? If the plane is bad, I'd rather review what's unique about the vehicle. And that's, well, basically nothing. The A7D and the A7K are pretty damn similar. The flight model files are written in a completely different manner, so it's very hard to compare them directly. But at the end of the day, they fly the exact same way. And it really doesn't matter if you turn 5% better than the other one, because you are still a subsonic ground attack oriented plane that really has not much going for it. For the ground weapons, you do have Mavericks now, and you do get a flare pod as well, but that was already on the A7D. So does it really have anything unique about it other than the Mavericks? I would say not really. I think, and this is my very unprofessional opinion, because I just do not play ground RB, you're probably better off with the F4E. It's faster, it accelerates better, it turns much better, it can actually defend itself, it has more missiles, sure it doesn't have AIM-9Ls, but you can still carry the 6 Mavericks if you really want to. So I really do not see a reason to pick this over the A4E other than the Flurpot. If you are a role player that likes that kind of thing, or if you have bad eyes like me, then yeah, it might come in very handy. But in general, if you like it, be my guest, but I just don't really see the reasoning for it. Let's look at some actual gameplay. We get pretty lucky and we flare one of the ML's missiles with a Maverick. See, Mavericks are very good. And I'm just hoping that this guy keeps afterburning so that I can send an AIM-9L up and he will maybe eat shit. Unfortunately, that's not what happens, and he's gonna continue on flying straight up. We jettison our Mavericks because they are hella heavy, and we start a dogfight with the Kavir Canard. And I notice that he's going pretty quick, and if he pulls back in, well, he's just gonna end up directly in front of me. So I squeeze the trigger, I gun him down, and now the ML comes back down on us because he thinks I'm a free kill. And he's exactly right. He then just breaks off, he doesn't even try to contest us, and then turns back into us very late on. Not sure what he's trying to do here. We shoot a bit at him, we only get a hit, very much unfortunate. He has enough brain cells to keep at speed, but then he pulls right into our guns. F104 comes head on. Yeah, I don't really have to say much about that one. And then we simply dive out to pick up a little bit of speed in case the MiG-23 comes back. And it looks like he doesn't want to have anything to do with us. And he's actually kind of scared of us, which is downright hilarious. Because if he goes for us and he simply goes up twice, we can't really do anything about it. So I'm gonna stay low for now, I'm gonna dive a little bit, I'm gonna keep my speed as high as possible. So I actually have the ability to kind of defend myself. But it's coming from directly on top, which means that I kind of can't really do anything. Because if I force the head on there and he still has radar missiles, I'm kind of boned. And I'm just kind of energy trapping myself. He then kills himself by flying into another friendly. We go ahead on with a Kavir Canard that's bombing at the end of the game. We take out his engine and we are gonna be cleaning him up. The issue with vehicles like this, and it's the exact same with the Stuka, the Junker 87 with the gunpods. It's the same with the F-82. It's the same with all these big gun planes. There is no thought process to be had, because these vehicles, you are just kind of flying to the rhythm of your enemy. You have to just see what they give you. If they give you angles, you need to take them. And if you take the angle, you still need to hit it. Now this guy is just completely done. And look at the guns, they sometimes just don't do anything. Real shutter, more like real shit up. And then you have, well, ground pounding. Yes, it's good at doing this, it's good at killing a lot of ground units. But at the end of the day, you're not playing 11.0, most of the time even 12.0 in this thing, to shoot at pillboxes. That's not what you take this thing out for. And most of the time you're not even going to reach this stage of the game, because you're too slow. The game is decided before you reach the middle of the battlefield. And games still last 4 minutes. Yes, the maps are bigger. Yes, it takes longer to reach the enemy. But at the end of the day, everyone still rushes into the middle. Everyone still goes into the massive furball in the middle. And really nothing changed other than the downtime around said furballs. And really that's all there is to this vehicle. It's pretty damn straightforward. Mainly because it's just guns, missiles on a vehicle that can only fly straight. Thank you all for watching. And you'll see me all in the next one with a BF-109 G2 video.